welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. We are picking up with the Crass Menagerie story, as we pretty much do every week. Every once in a while we have a break, things come up. Last week it was my wife's birthday, so we took the time off
Happy
so
birthday,
we could
Nita.
celebrate. Uh, happy birthday, sweetheart. But we are picking up on session 186. Yes, we've been doing this for a very long time, because we are an awesome group, and I love my group, and my players are the best. So the Crass Menagerie are still within the chaotic ruins of Green Hill. And more specifically, they are inside Magnus's tower, as that is what they have dubbed the keeper of this tower. The gargoyle, Magnus, was left as the custodian and apparently is intrinsically tied to this tower, which the menagerie learn was the mage tower to a one Rocket Galus, a powerful mage that they have heard of and have been trying to figure out who this individual was. He is tied in some ways to the events and goings-ons within the nations of the multiple nations of Kled, and the nation of Kled, the continent of Rune. Let me make sure I say my stuff correctly because it's the world that I made. And they also he held the title possibly of the Hendecolite or something adjacent to. The last session was really an opportunity to have a lore dump. After being within the tower and trying to explore, Magnus revealed to them that, well, it was pieced together that Magnus could not tell them something unless if they already knew it. Therefore, he was seemingly the magic that bound him to the tower would allow him to speak of certain things. Most notably, it was when they were at the top of this massive, expansive central space of the tower that defies physics and logics and everything, as mage towers often do. And as you can kind of see on the screen, there's this little reverse oubliette drawn where there's like a door that is essentially just in the center of the ceiling. And there's 4 gargoyles staying around it. And the various shifting hallways and stairways on the second area of this space will guide you to them if you wish to take them there. The menagerie did, and they wanted to open up the door. Magnus is very against this because he cannot sense what is on the other side of the door. He knows what's supposed to be there, but he can't confirm it. And this frightens him, frankly, as this is his tower. And the menagerie had another object with them, a quill of dictation, quickly referred to as Quilly. And Quilly revealed the fact, when the menagerie were trying to open the door, that Rocket and the Hendecolite might be one and the same. And then later, Quilly also revealed that Rocket might actually be Rock in some way. As Magnus said, how could Quilly betray his original creator? And Quilly kind of indicated that Rock equals Rocket in some ways. And this took Rock into a downward spiral. And this also caused, essentially, Kaden, Rock's best friend, the spirit that exists within his spellbook, manifest. Not properly, but the book was able to kind of start moving around and flutter on its own, and this drew Magnus seemingly into a rage as he began barreling through the rafters and the various staircases and stuff up here, trying to catch Kaden in book form. This led to a competition between Al and Marb to try to catch... No, not Al. Sorry, Cielo and Marb to try to catch the book. which eventually they did manage to get it as Cielo jumped off of Marb's face. And then Magnus ended up catching Cielo, making sure that he didn't kill himself from a 100-foot fall or more. All this being said, it later was revealed that Quilly has the ability to dust things off that are magical. And going over the tome that Roque has been carrying for pretty much as long as he can remember, which he thought was Kaden's tome, his travel companion that he lost one day. It began to become revealed that the tome was actually a combination of Kaden's original tome and Rocket's original tome. And Kaden was able to manifest in a dusty avatar form to be able to start revealing the past. And it turns out that many, many hundreds of years ago, Zygmunt Galus, or Zig Galus, aka the Black Mage, went to a flea-bitten slum, and because he sensed there was a powerful potential for a magic user, and found the original Rocket. Essentially gave this poor family a bag of coin and took the kid, and family didn't fight it. Decades would pass, 20 years or more, and then eventually same mage would run into now an adult Kaden, because Kaden grew up in that flea-bitten slum with Rocket, and it turns out that the magic potential was not just from one individual, but it was from two individuals. Now, Rocket, having a 20-plus year head start on Kaden, was very glad to have his friend back, and Kaden was very glad to have his friend back. They began to properly apprentice under Zygmunt, and that led to magical discoveries and adventures and performing minor miracles and just honing their craft. However, this, like with many times, Zygmunt's first apprentice, Rocket, began to become obsessed with certain things. And one of those ones having been a mortal that lives a very short time, he became obsessed with trying to figure out ways to extend his existence. And this spiraled into many different threads and many different horrible deeds. And it even ended up splintering and fracturing the relationship between his friends. And that's essentially kind of where we're picking up with more story time. And Roque is not participating in story time, as Roque is still trying to take in everything that he heard, and the inspirational words from the voice of Buna, his old lady friend, that Davis and Al managed to help him inadvertently conjure. And he's just doing what Roque does best, and the game agrees. He rolled a natural 20 while he's just walking around looking for things. So that's where we pick up. Is there any details or anything you guys want me to add or refresh you guys on, or are we good after having a week off?
So, if I recall correctly, so Zygmunt is the one who set up the sculpted dimension, the place in the choke. This place? Question mark? Do we know about this place? If this was Zygmunt or Rocket?
No, this place was confirmed. This place was confirmed that this was Rocket's first mage.
Okay, but those others were.
If that wasn't clear, my apologies.
Okay, but the
Those
others
were
were
Zygmunt's, yeah. So,
okay.
yeah, they were part of his Hendecolite project.
Okay.
And
What's
as it was revealed, if it wasn't too clear, it.
The golem
Go ahead.
in the sculpted dimension? Do we know if
Yeah,
that
the
was
sculpted
Zygmunt?
custodian.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. Well, was it Zygmunt?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a So that was it. If it wasn't clear, yeah. So it was discussed, and that steward or the custodian was
a snapshot of
part
Zygmunt,
of his
basically.
effort to be able to to take his memories and his abilities and put it into a construct.
I'm just trying
And
to.
this was one of the things that
Go ahead.
yeah, it's good. And this was one of the things that Rocket tried to copy and emulate, and he did his own experiments. And then, whole other thing that I skipped, he accidentally created Red,
Right.
which Red is basically is the
Negative
manifestation
version.
of like
Right.
his unchecked ambition, yeah, and all that, and that forced Rocket to, like a mage tower is a sculpted space, or a shifted dimensional pocket, like a magnificent mansion is the same thing. Like all these things are manipulating demi-planes and extra space. He ended up carving that extra space that you guys ventured in the ethereal, where he set up a prison essentially, because he wasn't capable of destroying Red, but he was at least capable of imprisoning Red.
Right. And as far as we know, Red's still just
And that's where Red
bopping
is.
around.
Yeah. You guys let Red loose. Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
Red is somewhere in the material.
the yeah, I was just trying to basically bifurcate all of the stuff that I like because we had basically conflated both Sigmund and Rocket as the same person for so long. Now I'm like trying to find out where the dividing line is
No,
between
that's
them.
fine. Yeah, then that's please, by all means, as a player or even as Davis, just go ahead and try to, I am here to try to clarify that. That's kind of the purpose of this insane lore dump,
I
because there
think
was very little evidence to show that they were different at the time.
yeah, I think that's good. And another detail to mention was, or a particular thing that was interesting, just looking through my notes, was interesting that it was Hava that she was chosen as the vessel for the hags at first when Wiggs was right there.
Yeah, and this was me telling y'all, and something that you could consider. I think it was someone said that. Oh, I don't remember if I officially told you, but yeah, there was a reason. I don't remember if I told you guys why, but if I haven't, then it's something you guys can uncover if you wish to follow that path.
Uh, yeah, I think something about like
So
speculation about her being hagborn or something potentially.
exactly, yeah. Oh yeah, if I did mention that, then yeah. So Hava was a hag born, therefore a individual that was supposed to become a hag, but the ritual was stopped or whatever.
Yeah.
The transformation,
Oh yeah, it
once
says
she
it
came of
Seb
age, was
rescued her.
stopped.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. My notes have that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Seb rescued her, and she's essentially, or mechanically speaking, she's like a sorcerer or something. She's got magic in her blood,
Got it.
you know. And that's why Red was able to take Red without, like, this is DM telling you guys. I don't think this is something you guys, but that's how Red was able to say, like, get me this person because they're at least capable for me to possess and
All right.
use without just burning out, because there's at least magic in there.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
all I
why
got.
when Red possessed, yeah, and that's why also why when Red properly got into Rock, our favorite turtle cleric wizard, that's why he was very, very capable of
Right.
using Rock's abilities.
That's got an important question.
What's up?
If Rock was to stab himself, whose blood leaks out of him?
Oh,
Rock's blood?
like the
Doesn't leak blood
story.
anymore.
Yeah. Well, again, again, you know where to look for things. As I had to stress, but you decided not to right away. Just reminding you, Rock. You know where to look for answers.
Yeah, I know.
So
But you dump
yeah.
these things on me, and it messes with my head, and it's just a lot of.
Yeah, no doubt.
It feels like betrayal.
Oh, and the other thing, sorry, the other big part is you got confirmation on one of Mothra's 13,
The
which is the
compass.
golden compass with no needle. And essentially that, I may not have depicted it correctly, but it's meant to be a positive boon for Rock. That he, everywhere he is going, not like the fates are deciding is correct, it's just, hey, you're doing whatever you do is the right thing to do at that time. Don't stress, don't freak out. It's kind of this, quasi ephemeral kind of.
But if I do stress and
70%
freak out, then that was the right
item.
thing to do.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Sure.
Oh.
But DM to player, it's meant to be a thing of comfort, in a sense. But I understand that it's a lot to absorb.
Yeah.
So,
Listen, feel good about it, okay?
it's just, yeah. Yeah, so like, yeah, like so just that time that you went here and you saved this person was good. The time that you went here and you blew this monster up was good. The time that you went here and teleported the Harmoose in front of your hard hitters and they whomped the shit out of my champion in one turn. That was good. You are in the right place at the right time, kind of thing. So, yeah.
What
So-
that tells me is anytime I use beans, it was the right thing.
Yeah. The time you planted a bean in on top of the choke and magic beanstalks erupted and then started to swarm the choke and go into an extra dimensional space through a portal, that was the right thing to do.
We don't talk about the other.
The artichoke.
The
The artichoke. Yes. So, I kind of leave it to you guys if there's anything you guys want to discuss amongst yourselves. If you guys want me to jump to Rock, or if you guys want me to jump to Kaden, it's kind of right now. Just kind of want you guys to catch up or do whatever you want. You just kind of cue me onto what's
Refresh
going
my
on, and then
mind,
I will
so-
pick up where we need to.
Rock was like talking to his coral with like Buna or something, or Buna was talking to him through the
Yeah,
coral or
so-
something.
Yeah, so when he was up at the top and you and Al tried to comfort him a little bit,
Yeah.
there was this beautiful, like, teal blue glow coming from within Rock's tucked in shell, right? This is a little cartoony where you can kind of say portals are able to actually tuck into their shell to some degree, where real turtles really can't. But he can somewhat. And when he was tucked in, you guys both were able to witness, and I think Karos was up there as well with you. You guys saw this beautiful light, and you two were close enough in proximity that you heard Buna's voice.
That's
And
right.
I'm pretty sure this would be the second time you've ever heard it, because
Yeah, I
she
think
did make her voice present to him before in the past. So you guys may have actually recognized it, and it was just this very comforting, grandmotherly. You got the Seafoam. Everything you do is, you're the best at what you do. Just trust in
Yeah,
yourself and do it.
I found
Um,
it. We're all the sum of our secrets, and yours are wonderful.
All some of the
And
secrets
Kaden's
and
not your
yours
enemy, which I don't know
are-
if I believe that.
No. She has never lied to him. I will say that.
we know of.
Yes.
Two questions.
Yeah.
The end of that was, and we all are powerful? Oh, sorry, we all are wonderful?
It's and yours are wonderful.
And
And
yours are
yours, so
wonderful.
Rock is the sum of his secrets, and his are wonderful. But in his case, yours are wonderful.
Perfect.
Talking to
And question 2 for Adam. Are all of those words spelled as expected? Secrets, wonderful, some. I'm on to you.
Oh, okay.
After
none
throwing
of
a
it-
rocket on us with like it's really just rock,
I was like,
but like
"What?"
ETT.
I mean, I have to-
I'm
yeah.
kidding.
So, yes. Oh, and I would also re-emphasize that the reason you guys are able to understand and read and kind of pick up on things in here is because you guys cracked
The cipher.
cipher. Yeah.
Secrets.
Yeah. And then Al, you have some sort of book on Alohi, if I remember right. I don't remember the title I told you.
Al cannot put it down.
Yes. But this for repicturing this image space, it's an expansive, space that it doesn't define space, right? It keeps expanding. It's larger than it should be. It's hundreds of feet tall, if not up to 200 feet tall, with shifting staircases and walkways above you. There's about halfway up, there's a balcony that allows you to traverse in that space. There's rows and rows of books and scrolls and tomes. There's curios and oddities and relics all over. There's things on display on the walls. There's a giant flocking sphinx paw that's preserved in a glass case, seemingly on display, adorned with beautiful jewels and golden fineries. There's just a whole bunch here. There's lamps that light up when you get close to them. There's delicious cookies and booze, which Rock is enjoying right now. So it's this combination of laboratory, library, museum, and living room kind of thing. So, anything else? Cool. All right, Rock, do you want to roleplay? Do you guys want, or my players, do you want to talk amongst each other, or is it Kaden time?
I eventually have to make my way over to the bookshelf.
Who of many? Yes. You know,
Um,
there's one in particular that you understand you need to go visit.
yeah. I'll work my way over there slowly. Since Mark didn't want this fun dagger, I've learned that it makes a place when together. There'll be a lot of that. We don't need to recreate it. I'm just like stomping through, still occasionally making a mess, muttering to myself. Every now and then I hear burn. Yeah, that.
Yes, what?
Yeah.
Just
Gotcha.
I hate
Not
this,
as
everybody. And
yeah.
everything's just frustrating, and I guess I'll go look at these stupid books. Bet you I'll pick the right book I need to look at, because I just do the right thing no matter what I do. Even though I've definitely hurt people that shouldn't have been hurt. So that's shit.
Cool. The eagle screech, not as jarring now that you've heard it multiple times. As they kind of echoes through this vast space from time to time. Every once in a while, the mostly blacked out windows in this space will light with this chromatic kind of flash, as you guys are aware that those are the little mad shits on the outside just gnawing on the tower and trying to consume some of its magic. Basically getting bug zapped. But yeah, Rock, if we are going to that book.
I mean, I'll go to the shelf that has the book, but I'm gonna just randomly pull other books off. Nope, won't be you. Nope, won't be you either. Oh, this one looks important. Definitely.
Got it. So as you kind of walk in this area, this shelf. Actually, I may ask because it is yours. So how would you picture the shelf? Like, is it made of old woods? Is it metallic? Does it only have books? Is it caged? Are there chains? Like, what do you see in your mind when you see Rock stomping and just picking books and kind of tossing them?
Oh, it's like fancy pants wood. Just gorgeous shelving. It's 90% books with a few like a shelf here or there that's like a wizard. Whatever. Maybe one little section's got just like some parchments. And there it's a tall bookshelf, so it's got one of them like ladder thing things. It's just like attached to it. Well, not attached to it, but like if you climb it, it will slide where and take you to wherever you need to go. But it doesn't attach.
I like it
because mages. And yeah, a lot of the books, like you can tell, a lot of them are wizard, and then some of them you can tell are just like yeah, look at me, I collect things, I'm fancy. Yeah, and those ones are the ones especially. Oh, no,
that you're grabbing and tossing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wizards and their
Thank you. probably that visual. Yeah, so like beautifully, like oiled and lacquered woods, like of the shelving, lots of fine carving details. There's beautiful additional, like unnecessary detail put into the shelvings and on this bookshelf, and it is a large kind of spiraling, but not spiraling, but like a large enough one where it does justify having this magical ladder that allows you to kind of coast around, and you go up and down, and it kind of, in a very serpentine like way, just kind of weaves and snakes its way through a portion of this magical living room, laboratory, museum space. As you're
Each
like
shelf
taking
is
some of these books,
rather thick too, and they all have
what was
like
that?
stuff. Each shelf is rather thick, and they all have like symbols or writing engraved in it
I
Yeah,
like that.
to help
exactly.
identify
I
the
like that.
purpose of each shelf. But some of that I might just like, oh no, your indexing got ruined.
I get you.
Did I do that?
I get you. Did I do that?
As I'm
Oh,
sabotaging him, it's like too yelling back, I want my book back. You can keep the tabaxi.
Magnus will hear that, look at Kaden, and is like, I mean, I don't. You're kind of stuck in there, right? He just kind of sighs, like, yeah, part of the deal. But hey, he'll get over it. He gets mad. He'll be fine. All right. So as Rock, you're kind of meleeing the bookshelf. Is kind of how I want to see it. We will, yeah.
We've got
You
claws.
take a swig of the. Yeah, yeah. You take a swig of your booze and just kind of go on a ride on the ladder, and we will return to the book that you are supposed to find.
The book you're disparaging.
With the book you're disparaging. With that, Kaden will continue with the rest of the group around the various comfortable pieces of furniture, the bean bags that came magically, shifted over here. He had discussed, and you guys had read the scroll, and now you were able to read it because of the cipher being unlocked, and it was talking about, creating bodies and vessels to be able to put one's consciousness in. Within it, you guys will be able to understand that essentially it's referring to like a cloning spell, and how different this magic has been brought up through different magical eras and different magical civilizations and groups throughout Materia at different times. One such reference, Al, because I remember you took pretty good notes in the jungle ruins. There's reference to those jungle ruins and the Jabberwocky area, and it's kind of confirming that it's similar magics and applied in ways that they can. And this looks more like it's a direct copy of it, just to like have it and try to understand it. And then Kaden will kind of up, filling in some details, answering some questions that you guys may have, and he'll continue down the story of like the two apprentices and start focusing on more of the questionable choices that he witnessed his lifelong best friend do, and how it became increasingly more difficult to stomach what Rocket was doing, but at the same time they were trying to avoid any types of conflicts or all that, because Sigmund, Rocket, Kaden, and there was other. He hints that there were other practitioners of magic that were keeping low profiles and staying hidden in their towers or other dimensional spaces to avoid being drawn into the the Black War that had been raging. And Kaden continues with highlighting that he for as decades continue to pass, he was wishing that Rocket would kind of come back to more of the Rocket that he would know. They were already able to in some ways extend their natural lives just through the various magics that they had found and practiced, the various relics and everything that they may have been exposed to, you know but still that wasn't good enough. And I think I mentioned that at one point Rocket mentions the unsavory alliance that Kaden mentions the unsavory alliance that Rocket made with Elsevier.
Yep.
The and he said that was really one of the most close to the true breaking point in their friendship, as he wasn't necessarily certain of what Rocket was doing, but he wasn't blind to what he was also trying to accomplish. He then kind of continues the story and kind of puts a little bit more focus on himself because he doesn't. Can I get insight checks from anyone that's proficient in insight?
Which I think is most of us.
I think it's almost all of you.
Yeah.
You guys are a very perceptive and insightful group. So, but please tell me your role since I'm not in.
Right. Dave is
Counter.
24.
Dave's 24, good. I should write these down. So.
Wow. Ben 26.
Okay.
I can do Karos.
Okay.
Should have done Karos. I tried.
Cross 15.
If he Karos's Nirvana die is an 8 right now, so make sure.
Ah, no good. I'll write that down to thank you.
What was yours? 15.
Karos 15. Al
Okay.
6.
Okay. Anyone else making a roll?
Marvis not. Lulu can't roll, unfortunately.
Mm.
She could try.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
Yet
Okay,
be
cool.
proficient.
So in this one, I'm asking, to be proficient in this one, please. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'm good.
Cool. Okay, cool. So Davis and Ben would, definitely pick up on it. Hayden begins to kind of draw the story and the focus more on himself for a little bit, and you guys pick up. It's because he doesn't want y'all to see your Rock as this Rocket individual. He wants to make sure that they are separate individuals. They're separate entities. And he wants to draw attention away from all this dark that he's been explaining and kind of break up the story a little bit, and just kind of continue down a similar vein, but give you guys a chance to maybe process what he said, but also distract you from what he said in the terms of protecting your relationship with Rock. And Ben would pick up on this. It's because he rolled high enough, but it's because Kaden does actually vehemently care about, as fucked up as that relationship is currently, he's there. And Ben will kind of pick up on something like, yeah, Kaden's been there the whole time, just maybe not in the way that everyone else here would kind of understand it, because why the hell is this guy in a book? Kind of.
Right.
Anyway, so Kate, unless there's any questions you have.
I think that's
Cool. Okay. Cool. So Kaden will say, so meanwhile, we grew further and further apart. However, I still had my obligations to my aging master, and I still had uh, my own ambitions and my own hopes. And I would answer the call to Zygmunt when he reached, and unfortunately, as years passed and rocket became more and more scarce, this worked in some way to my advantage because I got the undivided attention of the great archwizard. And he helped me refine my abilities, and I learned continuously from him. And I was able to see the flaws and the strain on my master as the years continued. And his ambitions were not waning, but they were struggling to find reality, as he was a good, genuinely good soul. Zygmunt hated what had happened to Rune and how the conflict had started to bleed elsewhere. And his next obsession became trying to end this conflict, even if it meant exposing himself and eventually paying a price that would be too high for any normal individual to take. I worked with him. We refined his concepts, his processes. We experimented in small scale to be able to achieve a goal of, well, this is where ethics may come into question, but forcibly imposing his will to end the war on the entire continent. I'm sure you guys are aware that there are different magics that can alter one's senses and alter one's motivations. Usually limited to a small number of individuals. And usually to a limited area. We worked to spread this influence across an entire continent simultaneously from one man. So that isn't an indication of how capable my Archmage Master was. I don't know how to express it otherwise. So we worked on this plot, this plan. And I mean, the rest is essentially history. And that one fateful day, knowing that this could be the very last thing that Zygmunt did, I was there to help him prepare. And he enacted the persona of the Black Mage. And on that day, he influenced every notable individual that was associated with the war that had scarred and torn this continent, and if it would have raged long enough, would have ripped this planet apart. And his influence landed, stuck, and the Black Treaty was eventually signed. And it's managed to hold since. This taxed my Zygmunt heavily. before my eyes, he aged hundreds of years. He became weak and frail physically. The toll on his mind was immense. But he was not lost. He was just a bit broken after exerting himself. So as it was, as I was there with him, I was to take up his mantle. Learn from the sources that he learned. And that's when another world was revealed to me. Bringing back Roque into the story. Sorry, Rocket. See. Trying to make sure I don't call him by his childhood nickname. Such immense power was admitted that, of course, Rocket did not. This did not go unnoticed by Rocket. Rocket saw it as an opportunity. Proper opportunity to take from Zygmunt what Zygmunt would not give Rocket. As Rocket was not able to learn how Zygmunt had created his sculpted constructs and such, Rocket wished to just take it. As Rocket did not have the vast network of mage towers and groves of knowledge and relics, Rocket sought to take it. And this led to a conflict between the two apprentices. One such conflict that I was not prepared for, because he was still my best friend. And he did not know this, but I had, in certain ways, surpassed him. He was still excellent in many of the things that he did, but he was so focused on his one ambition that he did not refine or continue to practice many things. So rather than dispatch of my best friend when a conflict arose, I managed to subdue him. And I brought him before an icon that I had only recently learned about through the extensive teachings and as part of my burdens as picking up Zygmunt's mantle. There was a great master to an organization known as the Unveilers. This individual agreed to assist me in imprisoning Rocket and attempting to break him of his sickness. This obsession had turned into a sickness. However, we failed to recognize that he had some accomplishments in these years. He most notably was able to create malformed duplicates of himself. And they would continue his work. On his behalf in dark places. They were There were fragments of his soul placed elsewhere. Different versions of himself. Obsessing and toiling and trying to create a more perfect, lasting body so that he could ascend to where he thought was his right place as the Archmage. Time would pass. I would continue to study under this master. We took care of Zygmunt. We thought that that would be that. Unfortunately, time would continue, age would progress, shackles would weaken, and a new conflict would arise. And then I guess we'll transfer over to Roque for a little bit. You guys have any questions on story time?
I mean, I'm sure you're gonna get to it, but the Great Master to the Unveilers. I'm assuming you've intentionally not named the name just yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the White Duke, I tell you.
Cool.
What? My God.
So. Well, yeah, because what was Tabards was the what was his title?
Oh, I'll have to look.
He was like student of the White Duke or something. I actually forgot.
Yeah, student of the White Duke.
I took a yeah. Well, good job, way to follow the story.
Nerd.
Nerd. I love it when my own players are my own nerds. I love it. Okay, so Rock, zipping around, meleeing the various bookshelves and all that. Anything else right now, sir?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm at the bookshelf. Once
What are you
I've
doing?
created enough carnage,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll grab the book. Oh, look, it's the book that I have to read because I do. Nobody's in control of me. Do everything properly.
I will say, for a little bit of flavor, you'll hear a little chuckle from Puna. Just a little disjointed little chuckle.
Not that you.
Do you open said book?
Not. It was higher up, so I'm gonna scurry down and I'm gonna find more food.
You rolled a natural 20, so you, with 34 investigation, yeah, you find more booze.
Yeah, so I'm gonna sit with the book and I'm gonna eat more sticky treats.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to open because it's what I want to look at it. What's it? What does it say on? What's it look like? What kind of book is it? Yeah.
So it is a tome of sorts. It's not massive though. It's definitely not like the size of a spell book. However, the leathers, I guess you would say, that it was bound in, there are textures and imprints on it. Can you roll me a... Can you roll me a history check? Por favor.
Working on it.
Yep.
Did it. I broke Foundry. Oh, I
Bum,
don't.
bum.
Well, I do have this.
Like, And do let me know what you roll since I'm not in Foundry.
Yeah. Oh, I'm working on it. It doesn't-
Yeah,
Is there an issue?
Yeah, when I click on history, it doesn't. I can't roll anything. Any of them.
Oh yeah, why is that? What is going on with your character? Like, I don't see any skills. Any proficiency?
Oh yeah, all my numbers are blank.
That's strange.
Skills? I can see
Yeah.
it.
Maybe those items.
Let me turn off your tensor transformation because you don't need that.
See a 500.
yeah, that would have faded by now. Yeah.
But oh, is you seeing errors coming up?
So, Soma JS, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
are you
not
seeing yours? I'm not.
Nice. Oh,
What is something with Foundry right
no.
now?
The numbers disappeared. What? Refresh.
I'm logging out of Foundry and coming.
No, it is throwing an error. That's super fucking weird. What happened?
Alright. Sorry, everybody that's watching. We got a little technical error.
I mean,
That's
it's a what? I'm a plus.
Yeah, you'd be
No.
plus 10. Oh yeah, your like initiative
14.
is all weird. There's something messed up.
Rock is broken now.
Five plus
Very
5
appropriate. Like you have no
yeah.
AC as well. It's super weird.
It would be plus 14 if I remember right, because you have expertise in history and
Yeah, it would be plus 14.
Yeah.
So D20 plus 14.
18 until
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll just manually. Oh, I didn't roll high. 18 total.
There's something oddly familiar with the impressions and the what is in like kind of indented in the leather bindings. But you can't really put your mind to it, but you feel like you've seen it somewhere. And it's just this like elaborate kind of magical. When you look at it further, you can kind of tell like it's this elaborate kind of symbology to it. I guess is the best way I can explain it with how you rolled it. But other than that, I mean, kind of everything here, besides our friend Magnus, is like not covered in dust, as you know, no dust is to form here. The book is smaller than you would maybe expect. And yeah, it's not locked or sealed or anything. Just dark leather.
I'm gonna let it fall open to a random page. Be the page that I should look at first.
So, as you kind of allow it to kind of flip open, can you give me an Arcana check? It'd be the same thing, D20 plus 14.
Yes, it would. Oh shit.
Ooh. How's a 34 for
34?
Yeah, natural 20.
Okay. Again,
See, I told you it opened to the right page.
you?
yeah, don't doubt Buna's message. You
That's
do what
what's
you're
up.
good at, and you're doing what you're good at.
If she chuckles again, I'm gonna hand the coral to whoever's near. Be like, here, take her for a walk.
Luna will be near you.
I'll give it to Lun. Just be like, Lun, fly.
She goes, ow, and flies away with it.
Fine, I'll allow it. That's fine. Okay. Funny as fuck, actually. Really like visual.
She's wagging her tail and
This
playing
piece
keep
of
away.
coral that you've never taken off. It's all of a sudden you're like, fuck this, take it off, take it. Luna spreads her wings and just randomly, Lulu's having a blast. She's just flying and landing on the various, shifting stairways and archways and walkways, leaping, flying. Have fun. Doing as she was told.
I will discreetly. Pebble. Go make sure that doesn't get.
Pebble tweets. And real quick. The page that it opens to, it's interesting. You look over it, and it looks like the most unassuming page to begin with. Then you kind of tilt your head and kind of look at it, kind of waiting for whatever it is to make sense. As you can read, you understand, but it seems like or kind of more like gibberish. Then you realize that it seems like it's multiple viewpoints, but it's all written in like the same style with a natural 20 for a 34. This is a tome that there are how do you say, not compendium tomes, but like tomes that are related. I've lost a word. I had a word for it to describe it, and I'm losing it. There's other tomes out there or other sources that
Number one
when
in a
they
series of
are
3.
written in. Well, no, it's kind of similar. It's like it's kind of like a transcribing tome. So like there's multiple tomes out there, and when this is like the master, and then if someone were to write in one of the children tomes, so this is the parent, those are the children. If someone's to write a child's tome, it gets
Companion?
transcribed into as well. Yeah, kind of. So if let's say Danny has one of the tomes, and Danny writes, "Hi, how are you?" That message or that writing would show up in this master tome as, "Hi, how are you?" And now there's multiple of them. And there's multiple entries coming from multiple places, filling this tome out. Multiple individuals doing research. This is a research tome. It's multiple individuals doing research, filling in this, and it would come here, and it'd be like the master or the parent. And that's because you rolled a 34. You figure that out like that. Because you see that there's different handwritings, different styles, but they all kind of speak in the same way. Oh, give me a second. Anita's calling. Sorry, wasn't expecting that. Sorry.
This mage is dangerous. He's got parent books and children
So hold on,
books.
I gotta check. Is this the eagle? Oh yeah, okay. I didn't realize that we made a soundboard thing for it.
I'm sorry that I labeled it America.
As a Canadian, I approve of that.
Nice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the loon noises in the middle of that.
If you want to have a Canadian noise,
Mm-hmm.
but the sounds are not as glorious.
It doesn't have to be glorious. Is it intimidating? Is it funny? Is it
They make weird hissing sounds.
Wait, what are you
Oh?
talking about? What make hissing sense?
I mean, a Canadian goose.
Oh, yeah, they're
Ooh.
fucking mean as shit too, aren't they?
they're a threat
Oh,
though.
Yeah, so
They could-
that would be my birds.
They
Yeah,
could probably take a bald eagle. They're pretty. I wouldn't mess with one.
there's a reason we call them cobras.
Right. Damn snake birds.
I mean, they're genuine pests, right? Like, you see one, do not fuck with it.
When you say pest, I imagine like locust, where like you look at the horizon, there's an army of them walking towards your town. You're like, oh,
You definitely don't mess with them.
Nope.
You see a goose doing its thing, you let the goose do. Even if its thing's impeding with what you want, you let it do.
This is
Seems
my
to be
porch now. Get off the porch.
Seems to be the gimmick with Canadian wildlife.
Yeah, just leave it alone, let it do its thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. Sorry about that, guys. She was just letting me know that she was on the way back to the apartment. So,
So
uh,
research comes. Is there a
yes,
theme
so
to
this
this
is kind of
research?
like, say it one more time. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I just. Is there a theme to the research from itself?
Yeah. So This is where the tome gets a little macabre. It is research on, as you start kind of flipping through it a little bit more, there's ways to quantify like pain thresholds, amount of damage to an individual when they're exposed to certain weather conditions.
Can I interject with a fun real life story?
Yeah.
Apparently there's a stinging pain index that someone created by letting himself be stung by like 80 different things and then describing them with like weird things like has a bit of nutty overtone or something like that. It's just like
Did he ever
what?
Did he ever get brave and do those like grants that hallucinations and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bullet ants?
Oh yeah,
Something
maybe.
like that?
Bullet ants are one of them, for sure. Bullet ants would suck.
I can look it up. I'll look it up
There's
and put it in the
caterpillar
chat.
ants as well.
That dude though, just like
Yeah,
for
yeah.
science.
Yeah. So it's essentially like you see this. However, with a 34 investigation and a 34 arcana, I might as well just give it to you. While you're reading it, you get to other more details, and it starts to kind of. Are you proficient? I forgot. You did take proficiency in medicine, right, Rock?
Yeah, because no one else can. So eventually I did.
Yeah. So you don't have to make a check on this because the proficiency. You start to see like these are experiments and tests and things being done on other living people or other living things, and they're categorizing their abilities, their capabilities, their pain thresholds, their tolerances to things, their resilience, their weaknesses, their flaws, longevity, just a whole bunch. And then, and then there's like other places once you start kind of flipping through it, like their compatibility to magic and their compatibility to other things. And then as you continue, or I should ask, do you continue flipping through and continue trying to follow this thread?
Yes, but I want to see if I can, while doing so, find out if there's any way. Find out where these other researches are taking place. Because I don't like this. We're gonna stop it.
Understood. How would you figure out where? I would ask you, how would you try to figure out where all these other researches are taking place? What would your response be?
Well, since it's coming from other people writing in books, I think that at some point, so I'd be like flipping through and trying to like see if I can like identify like maybe how many books are out there by the styles of writing, people's names in it, any information on where they're at, or if it's literally just everyone knows that this is some shenanigans and we're just being very blank about it.
I respect it. Going through the book, you're gonna realize that there's probably about. Let me roll. Let's see. Roll. Boy. You can do this, computer. I believe in you. There's about 4 sources. Like 4, you kind of pick up on 4 very similar. It's weird because you're reading it and you can pick up that there's 4 different individuals relaying to this tome.
Hey,
but they're twins of each other, or they're so similar in the way that they take notes and how they articulate things or how they express things, and their writing style is very similar. Their script is very similar. It's kind of eerie.
Hey, Magic Asshat, how many apprentices do you have
Who did you ask that to? Cade?
there? No, not
Did you ask
Kaden.
that to Kaden?
No, I'm ignoring Kaden. Our
Okay,
good friend. The tower guy.
Magnus.
Oh,
Yeah,
Magnus
that's what.
to the gargoyle.
Yeah.
Just like,
Did you call him magic ass hat?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure.
it was, I thought you called him asshat for like
Which
a wizard.
magic ass hat? Be
hat,
more
so I
clear.
was like, yeah.
We got 7 of them.
He you guys will see at the Magnus's that he's up next to you guys within the story time gathering. His figure will go solid and it'll kind of more go like a full gray out kind of stone complexion, and then in a moment's rock you'll hear these heavy footsteps walking behind you as he shifted his consciousness into another gargoyle and says, there was Rocket. There was Kaden. You do the math. I'm not an asshat. Name's Magnus. It's the best name ever given.
Who's I'll just ask you. Who's filling up these books? All these books. Do you know?
Who's all reading the books?
No, who's writing in the books, in the other books?
Well, the various books here come from other parts of quarters of Materia. They're expansive. It's a full collection that apparently you. It looks at you kind of weird saying that. Gathered. Brought to your collection. You've had a hand in writing many of these. Quilly dictated your thoughts for you.
You're not helping. Go away, ass hat. Hey, other magic ass hat. Kaden.
Persuasion check.
This is a slow turn.
So that would be a
Plus or minus 2, yeah.
2, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, hell yes.
Character.
Oh, boy.
Oh, hell yes.
Ooh, baby.
Natural 1. -1, baby.
-1.
Yeah. The dice are very much in line with what's going on.
Sal just like, hey, fuckface. I think I said Al instead of Rocket. Sorry.
When you say that, you'll just see Kaden, like, the rest of you, because, Rock's a little bit away from you guys. As he hears it, Kaden just kind of perks his ears up and you hear him say it. And then he literally walks over to the book, kicks it open, and then just sinks into the book. And the book closes itself.
He's a book again.
Hey, Magnus of the best name ever. I'm keeping your book, and I'm gonna stash his book.
You hand him the book, he holds onto it.
What was that?
You said you handed him the book?
No, I said, hey, Magus of the best name ever. I'm keeping this book. It's mine now. Commandeering it.
I mean, I think technically everything in here is yours. I don't understand.
I was
what's
just
going on, man.
rampaging here. Don't tell me that. Crap. I'll, straighten a couple things up.
See. Wait, technically, alright. Because you should know this. You tricked me. The original you tricked me. Well, that's so weird. Should I be mad at you? Can't be mad at you. I'm not allowed to be mad at you. You tricked me to sign some sort of contract to be forever bound to this tower.
You didn't make it with me.
As a-
I'm Rock. Rock the first of the only. Whoever you think I was in the past. So, you are free and unbound by that contract as much as I can do for that.
Hold on for a second. Listen, Rock of the First and of the Greatest and of the Mightiest, we both have awesome names and we're both awesome individuals. I can get behind that. I have nothing against you. I'm sure you have a lot against me. That's cool, dude. We'll get through this. Everything will be fine. You have some great friends here. You have a great friend inside of your home because I know the history there. But I need you to understand something here. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm just here trying to learn what you're trying to figure out. I don't remember the last time I saw someone here. All I know is that I am this tower. This tower is me. If you are to release me from this tower, I do not know what that means. I'm saying this for your benefit because, frankly, you guys are cool. I appreciate it. But let's at least use what's here, figure out what we need to figure out before you do anything so rash as to give me my freedom.
But see, it
And
shouldn't
that
work
sounds
if I
very
do it,
weird.
because I'm not who you think I am. Now, if it does work, that means then I'm not who I think I am. But if it doesn't work, I'm just a conundrum.
Next point of information that I need to impart upon you, because you're probably smart enough to understand this, and I don't know how the hell I'm able to put this into words. Figure it out. Like, you are, apparently according to Kaden, you're somehow Rocket.
Yeah, was he
Figure it out.
gonna explain that anytime soon? Can we have him back here to do that?
The book kind of parts open, and you start to see dust kind of percolate upwards. Is there anything else you want to talk with Rock, or do you want to investigate the book a little bit more, or are we jumping?
You know, I want, like, hey, Crass Menagerie, everyone gather around. I have an announcement.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, in the time being, because of this whole shenanigans, I don't want to be called Rock anymore.
Okay.
So my actual name is Olokan Miyoda, and you can call me anything you want. I'll throw it in chat so you can see it.
Okay.
So that's my real name. I'm not Rock. I'm not Rocket. No more stupid nicknames. That's me. Feel free to call me anything out of that you please. It doesn't involve Rock.
I put it in the founder chat too, but yeah.
We might have to officially change your character sheet or card here too. Huh?
I mean, it's player lucky.
If you want us to call you Olokun, we'll call you Olokun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
That would be nice.
Sure.
Also, apparently this is kind of my tower, so help anything you want in it. Feel free. It's mine to give. As Asshat over here said. That's all. As you were. And then I'll go back to reading.
Are you holding the book?
Yeah, I still have both in my hands.
Yep. Can I get everybody to give me perception checks on the heavy leather bound, well, the not so large but heavily leather bound helm that Olokun's holding?
Oh.
Please let me know what you
22.
roll. Nice.
Davis bad,
That's my
10.
minimum.
Ben, 27.
Okay.
I got a lot coming your way.
Uh,
Paris 11. Marb
Mhm.
25.
Mhm.
Allegretto 28.
The
But
most
everybody but Davis
perceptive.
really notices it.
Wait, and
One quick
Karos.
thing with Karis 11. Actually, 11 passes.
11
Sorry,
was the
Davis.
DC.
Quick,
Um,
Al I was gonna like look at David and be like, Olakun, 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 and I'll kind of like slowly start stepping away, like Olakun, trying to memorize the name, but just like, Olakun.
Yeah, buddy. I'm gonna mess it up occasionally. Sorry, but I'll try my best.
Ol,
That's
Olo,
fine.
Olo,
Olokun. Yeah.
Olo.
I just don't want to be associated with cruel evolved wizards,
Cool.
So
including asshats that hide in books.
Yeah, I think we're about
shall
to
deem
find
th-
out about that.
We shall deem him Asshat Supreme.
And I'm inclined to hear about it at least.
love this. Okay. So he did not come out of the book, obviously, because Rock called you guys over. He was starting to, but they
Yeah.
back in. Um,
Back
those
to
of
the
you that rolled,
spot.
yeah, those of you that rolled over a 20 or higher on the perception check, the detailing, the cover of said book that he is holding, you've seen it kind of before. And Rock, remind me, did you take off everything? Like
Olokun.
all the stuff that you're carrying, right? In here? Like you took off all your, basically your house off of your back, right?
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah, that's a lot. Um, the, we had to do some drawing. Let's do this. Give me a second. This is the best way I can do it. Let's add a new page.
Oh, sure.
Let's. Yeah, they changed this folder structure. So how do I move you guys to this page?
Beats me.
Alright, you guys are currently on this page. Do I grab this? Does that work? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Alright. Alright, so it's gonna be freehand, so it's not gonna be the best. But I will try. So. Ooh, it's laggy. Okay. So. Boop, boop, boop. It'll take me a while to draw, so please forgive me because I didn't think of how I need to describe this, but I think this is going to be the best way.
It's a sailboat.
Oh,
A schooner is a sailboat.
Hey.
Stupid.
the scooter.
Trying to draw it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
If you fold them all up, you make a cube.
Ooh,
Yeah. But now it's going to throw a pitch. Oh.
I'm getting cool ass vibes.
My
Mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell.
adherence to this is becoming worse and worse because it's getting. I'm going to make sure I count this right. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. One more. Ugh. It's wrong. Sorry, guys. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6,
It's 11 total right now.
7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. This little piece right here. I'm trying to remember how I drew this properly the first time. Because it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, guys. It just takes a second for me to remember the drawing.
You're golden.
Had it printed previously, but obviously I don't have it with me. That should be 9.
Total? That's 13 or 4.
And no, obviously those little squares 9.
Oh yeah, it's 9 plus 3, so 12. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do this. Do this. And this is like the most egregious one that I drew, so I'm trying to fix that. This is disgusting. Bad that is. Let's just draw those. There we go. This should be 2, 1. Copy, get rid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Somehow I drew this differently before, and it made perfect sense to me, and now I can't remember it. Anyways. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's 14 total.
No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. Somehow I was able to draw it to have 11, and it made sense, and I don't remember how I did it. Pissing me off. Anyways, we'll just kind of include the extra one at the bottom. It's not technically correct. It's making me sad. Anyways, let's do this. Yeah. Making me sad, but anyways. 1, 2, 3,
That's
4,
10.
5, 6, 7, 8,
Can you
9,
say
10.
the?
Yeah.
Yes, that's 11. Can you say the numbers again that you were going for?
We're going for 11 total spaces, but I can only get 10, and I just can't remember how I drew it to have 11.
Okay.
It's maybe it should be reversed where it's like, oh, that's what it is. But is that what it is? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, take the top
Right.
off, add 2 feet.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
But then,
that's what it is. That's what it is. Thank you. See, it's something so simple, right? But it's like you need to. That's what it
Cha-ba-ba-ba.
is.
Puzzle is
Yeah, thank
fun.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The DM remember his own little drawing.
Ooh.
Sorry for that, guys. It just took a second. Appreciate you guys helping me figure out my own.
Nah, you're golden.
Sure.
That's
Just, right. So you kind of see this kind of pattern on the front of, and throughout it, and without like completely destroying it, you see like swirls and dots and different connections and different symbols, and each one of these is kind of like its own contained little piece. Each little diamond is like its own little contained piece, but then they naturally flow into one another. And as a whole, if you step back, they almost make their own separate contained piece. So it's like 11 pieces coming together to make one complete piece. You've seen this before, actually, and you're looking at it right now. Roque's shell. Mathematical equations that are part of Roque's shell that were exposed to him being shunted out of the unformed maze. This is the scarring on Roque's shell.
Holocuns.
So, in a way, if you can imagine it, like, there'd be like something like, swirling or doing something here, kind of doing something like that, and then it just naturally bleeds into the next one. But this one is like a completely different style. More linear or more geometric. And then it bleeds into this one. And then it bleeds into the next one. It just keeps continuing and following.
Cool.
That tome, the cover of the tome matches Roque's shell, or Olokun shell, excuse me.
I mean, like a player, like you guys can. If your character says my name in the game, no. Just less correcting.
Mhm. Olokun, do you continue looking through the book?
No, because I
You're
want
working on
Kaden's
a character shelf.
response. Kaden hasn't come out yet. So I'm gonna see if I can get
Your
Kaden to come
spell
out.
book will kind of, yeah, the spell book will kind of partially open, and some dust will percolate out, and Caden's head will form. You're not gonna punch me, right?
Nope.
Or whack me with your staff?
Nope.
Would it matter? Never mind. Continue.
Yeah, like kind of like a reverse, kind of like a reverse hourglass where the sand falls up, the sand falls, spouts out, the sand falls up, and dust percolates out of the book. And Caden kind of emerges. What can I answer?
Well,
I don't like this book. I don't like what it's implying is happening out there. Why does this exist? Who's out there writing into it? How many are there?
I think you know, and you just don't want to hear yourself say it out loud, so I will do that for you, my friend. Eventually, the rock that we had in prison managed to escape. He had help. He continued his obsession. Now older, withered, Hawk's hands, but he had his malformed creations assisting him, making notes, doing his experiments for him, figuring out an answer. Still nothing, Rock. You don't want? Okay, I'll continue.
oh, it's all Lagoon.
Sorry,
I'm not Rock
Raccoon.
or Rock or anyone in the past. I'm just me now.
The individuals that you see working in here are one person, just split into many. It was Rocket who managed to create copies of himself, and they spread across. Some of them took over various points of interest and continued Rocket's obsession, experimenting, capturing individuals, running tests, torturing them, recording everything they found back to the master copy. Now, something that of note, they did eventually find some good answers. So good, in fact, that this book, your shell, and others like it, bear the mathematical formula for a full body transfer into a vessel that is completely compatible, that is not the original body of the user. Rocket had essentially figured out a way to cheat death, and well, wouldn't necessarily be a human if he didn't wish to be. And this is a masterpiece.
don't like it.
So, you, the form that you currently have, though not you as in the person you, are one of those bodies. However, you don't have Rocket in you. You have Olokun in you. The original you. The one, the only. And believe it or not, my friend, go ahead, and I'll summarize as a DM. Got anything, Rock or Olokun? So, okay, go
I
ahead.
don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah,
No,
you let me write your backstory. Have fun.
Big mistake.
don't like it. I'm gonna go break some things, and
It's your house.
That's fine.
they're my things,
But
so nobody needs to care.
You got it.
So,
Hey,
this
hey,
was
hey,
DM.
original ass hat, come break things with me. You have to serve me, right?
Davis actually
Watch
kind of
that
looks
way.
around, wondering who you're talking to, and is it?
I'm talking to Megas.
Okay.
Not so much of a direct servant of yours as I am the keeper of your tower, but I am bound to this tower. I am
Wow, haven't you ever
intrinsically
wanted to break stuff in it?
Yeah, but you made it specifically kept me from doing that unless it was in the purpose of defending this tower.
No? Have some fun. I command you to have fun.
He walks over and picks up this like marble bust of let's call it, you know what? Let's do a dwarven individual. He picks up this heavy dwarven bust and just flies up about 20 feet, drops it. Was that good?
I don't know. Did you have fun?
I'm trying to have fun, but I kind of feel bad for you right now.
I'm having a great time. I'd be having a better time if you were having a great time. I don't know what fun looks like for you, but find some fun and have it.
Okay, I'll try. And he will try to have fun here. Go ahead, Al.
I mean, he's not bound to break things. Whatever that looks like for him. Give him a break.
I'll wait for Rock to break something. Then I'll interject.
Right, Rock, what are you breaking?
Well, he grabbed a bust, so I'm gonna grab one.
You can break whatever you want, so boss. Sure.
Yeah, and I'll just. Well, but we'll say since it doesn't drop from it, right? It doesn't do that much. Pretty hefty, and just.
Okay, that'll be good. That'll be good.
And I'll just sigh like.
Adam, feel free to redact this if he doesn't have a thing. But Marb will put a hand on his shoulder, be like, Olokun, you're treating us all wrong. And I'll pull the knee smasher out of his pocket and hand it to you.
Sure.
What is,
He can have it. Sure.
Try this out.
Oh, look, my
Works.
man.
sorry, what did he
Works.
hand me?
Wait. Knee smasher is just a just a hammer for busting
hammer.
knees.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's quite literally Marb's torture hammer. Yes, you can have it.
Now
Oh,
this is how you break things.
I will take it, and I'm gonna go to town on that bus break. Now it
Have
is
fun.
my fury.
Have fun, friend.
Appreciate that.
And when I finally am able to break it with Smasher, you guys will hear the evil again.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check just to see how long it takes you to smash it. I'm just curious.
That would be +1.
And then like
Can I
in a
Plus one
funny
for
way,
athletics?
like Agnes will be there, and instead of being like the super jittery talky one, he's like, "Woohoo! You got this!
Can I give him a bardic
Yay!"
inspiration with a kill him, kill him, kill him?
Sure, of course.
Ooh, so what's your inspiration dice?
Is
D12.
it a 12 now?
Yes.
Hell yeah,
12?
D12.
12, yeah.
15
So
total.
level 16. How much total?
15 total. I didn't roll a particular.
15. Okay. It's not a speed drop, so it'll take a little bit. Like you'll be like chipping off bits of it and everything, but there's not like this one solid crack and it just powders, shatters. Just ding, 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 ding. Little bits and pieces are just being thrown off and kind of chipped away. But it takes a while. But you're not so much getting tired. You're just just the frustration. So it's keeping you energetic and keeping at it. But it's not like this one solid crack and then it's a dust.
So it's not like Shawshank where it's
yeah.
going to take you 20 years to tunnel.
No.
Anyone do a good Morgan Freeman?
And a poster of Raquel Welch to hide.
Yes. Good reference. But yeah, it will eventually get powdered and dusted, but it'll take a little while. Magnus will continue to try to pick up something and drop it or hit something to break it as you want him to participate. But he is not feeling it. Turning back to Kaden, and then this is where we'll probably take our break here. Oh, Anita pinged me. Let's see. On here. She's probably made it home on Discord. She's like, I'm home. See, that was it. You get a text. Let me see. Oh, shit. Yes. Yes. Okay. So Caden will just to kind of DM what Caden said, and so you guys can take it in your notes or however you wish, and then we'll take a break because it was a good stopping point. So, the tome that Rock found is quite literally the tome that created the. It is a research tome that eventually finishes with the creation of this unique magical spell. It's this combination of like cloning and like reincarnation and other. It pulls from different sources, and essentially, in very and gory detail, it's a experimental log where they're experimenting with all different types of species of humanoids to try to figure out what would be a most adequate form. And they kind of eventually stumble on a few forms. And part of the flashback that Rock had at one point is after Rock, as part that Olokun had after Rocket got free, and this is like all the way back at the Necromancer's Tower, is when he escaped, he managed to go places and still continue some of this experimentation in his later years. And it was quite literally, dissection and mutilation and this and that. And they eventually landed on a few forms. And the individuals that were assisting in this were clones that Rocket was able to do, and he was able to impart some of himself into these clones. And they were basically these malformed figures of Rock. And they were doing the research while Rock was imprisoned by the headmaster and watched over by Kaden and the weakened here. Here is essentially the formula that made it an effective body. And then Kaden would kind of continue, just telling you, like, eventually, Roque had managed to transfer himself. Yeah. He kind of explains the clone spell and everything into one of these forms. And it became an ordeal with trying to, well, now deal with my friend who was out for vengeance. And he would show up in various, as different individuals from time to time. It seemed he had to use a crude term, he had a number of these bodies just in reserve, waiting. So, kind of where we'll leave if you guys don't have any questions on anything so far.
For now,
Okay.
just suspicious.
Great. That's fine. Well, all right. It's 33 past.
Yep.
So let's call it 35. So do we want to be back at 45?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Is that too quick of a break? That's good for everybody?
Any
Sounds good.
food?
45. Try to be
45
back at
sounds-
the computer, and we'll continue for part 2.